And finally, after a lot of searching on the web and on YouTube especially, I discovered Michael's Pro90d speed system. And just after watching a few videos, I was clear that this is the system that can help me out. This is the system that can help me reach where I want to reach. And there were various reasons for this. The first reason was that Michael's Pro90d speech system was talking about replacing stuttering instead of stopping it. And that sounded very cool to me. Another thing is that they were talking about helping you become an excellent speaker. Instead of the goal to stop stuttering, they talked about how to help you become excellent and amazing speakers. Now, at the start, I doubted if this could be possible because for me, someone who used to force out almost every single word, how can I be an excellent speaker? But that sounded pretty good to me. All right, I'm not focusing on stopping stuttering now. I'm focusing on becoming an excellent and amazing speaker. And in the process, I heard that the stuttering and stammering would take care of itself. Then I heard about the idea of modeling, observational learning. So there were various factors which made the system quite unique. And I immediately jumped into watching videos over and over again. I can still remember I watched videos for at least a few months and I started to get advantages. Just by using the videos on YouTube, I got various advantages and various improvements in my speech. But after those few months, I was wanting to get inside the system. I said that, all right, now I have the hope. I know Michael has stuttered himself. He's now a speech coach, an excellent speaker. He's helping all the people around become excellent speakers. In the process, stuttering and stammering just fades away, right? So, this is the system. This is exactly what I need to reach to where I want. And I jumped onto the self study course because at that time I could not afford the one on one speech coaching. Later on, I did some coaching with Michael as well. But because for most part of my journey I was working by myself, it took me a lot longer to reach where I want. Because with a coach, you get more accountability, more evaluation, more feedback, more encouragement, and it makes the whole process quite faster and quite easier. So it took me around an year or year and a half once again because for most part of this time I was working by myself. At the start, when I started working with the course, I was very excited. I jumped into the course, started watching videos from the first go. But there was a time when life got in the way, work got in the way, then I stopped working on my speech or stopped working on my speech as much as I should have been or as much as I needed to. Then my speech slipped back a bit. Then after a while, I worked again, it went up again, then I slipped back a bit. This happens, especially when you are replacing something, you're replacing a habit that you have been following for a lot of years. It takes time. But if you're working with a coach, with that accountability, evaluation, feedback, and encouragement, even when you get down, when you experience a failure, you know how to get out of it because a coach is there to make you realize that, hey, it's pretty normal. And that is how we need to get you out of this step. That is how to get you back onto working on your speech. That is how to get you back onto the consistency in your speech practices. And that is what makes this process a lot faster. While I was working on my speech, I still remember in this house, I used to go to my roof And I used to have half an hour walks, 1 hour walks in which I would listen to audios over and over again. While I was walking, I used to practice formal modeling, free flow modeling, both in English as well and in my own language, Urdu as well. Because Urdu is a language that I speak for most part of my day. Like 90 to 95% of my day, I speak in the language of Urdu. So if you speak another language, even if you work in the language of English, the work does start to spill over into your own language as well. But if you're also working on your speech in your own language, it makes the results even faster. So I used to have walks and I used to continuously practice formal modeling, free flow modeling, the phases of the free flow speaking exercise, excuse me, and continuously listening to audios. And that is what did the game for me. Those 1 hour practices, half an hour practices, every day I used to walk around. I used to speak about various stuff. I used to practice modeling, free flow speaking while speaking about something that I like. What are my plans for the next day? What happened the last week? What I need to do? What I should have done better? And I used to have real fun with my practice. Then I used to go out continuously and continuously use my new speaking style. But I experienced a lot of bumps, a lot of failures. And that is to make you realize that it's normal, it's fine. Because you have been following your old speaking style for such a long period of time, you need to give it some time. You need to give it some time for you to become the speaker that you have to be. So if you're here and you want to get here, the journey doesn't look like this. The journey looks like this. It's up and down, it's up and down, it's up and down, but the overall journey is always moving up. So the next high is always higher than the previous high. And that is the major advantage. But that only happens with consistency. If you if you consistently keep doing the work, that is what gets you there. Working on your speech is just like working out. You can't go to the gym 1 day a week for 1 hour and then not go there for the rest of the week. You would not see results like that. Even if you do 15 minutes, half an hour, but you do that every single day, you maintain a consistency right there. That is exactly what you need to get your physique goals. And consistency needs to be developed right here as well in speech practices, audio listening, modeling, free flow speaking in order to get you to the place where you need to get towards. So, while I was working on my speech, another goal which I had in my mind is that, or was that, once I stop stuttering, or once I become the speaker that I always wanted to become, I would make sure that no one else has to struggle. I would make sure that no one else has to face it. And that was another goal in my mind that kept me working on my speech because I knew that I'm not only doing it for myself, but after I reach to where I want, I need to do that for the whole world. I want to help people out with their speech. I want to help people out with speaking, just like Michael, and help people to transform their speech from what they might consider to be a liability to one of their greatest assets. So after I pretty much reached to where I wanted, I reached out to Michael and I asked him if there was a possibility that I could work with him as a speech coach. Now, simultaneously, I also started my YouTube channel just to share my journey on which you are right now, just to share what worked for me, what were the most useful things for me while I was working on my speech. So I got onto the YouTube channel to help people with their speech. people just like me, right? And Michael also saw some of those videos. I also reached out to him, asking him if I could work with him as a speech coach. Very, very gratefully, he said yes. And then Michael trained me for more than an year on how to coach people. Now he coached me on how to coach people for around an year or so. I used to learn from him. I used to sit in his meetings and I learned a lot in that period of time. Then for the last 2.5 years, I've been following what I always wanted to do. I've been working with people from all around the world. Some of them stutter in a mild manner, some of them stutter severely, some of them can't even get a single word out, some of them are just working to enhance their speech, enhance their speaking, and I enjoy working with all of them. I help them become the speakers that they always wanted to become. So within our coaching sessions, I give them everything that I just talked about: more encouragement, more evaluation, real time feedback, right? And that is exactly what you need. We have found that working with a coach can make the progress of your speech at least 10 times faster as opposed to when you're working by yourself. So if you are looking to make the journey fast to reach where you want faster, and if you're looking for one-on-one help, I can certainly help you with that. Because of my own experience, because of the system, because of my own experience with the system, and because now for the last 2.5 years, having worked with various clients from all parts of the world, India, USA, different parts of Europe, right? Different parts of Africa. So that experience of working with clients, my own experience and the system is what I would provide you with in order to make your journey faster and a lot easier and to help you reach towards where you want. Now, I would wrap up with this. You remember how I said in the first part of the video that I used to ask God that why? That why do I have to struggle with stuttering? Why do I have to fix it? Do you want to listen to what I say right now? Stuttering and stammering is the best thing that has ever happened. You heard that right. Stuttering and stammering is the best thing that has happened to me because it transformed my speech and it transformed my life and made me a speaker that I would never have been had I not struggled with my speech. I got to become the speaker that I am right now because I struggle with my speech pretty severely and I had the opportunity to work on my speech. If I would have been a normal, usual speaker, probably I would never have worked on my speech. Maybe I would not have stuttered, but I would have been a very shy person and not a very good, influential, excellent speaker. But because of having faced everything that I faced, and because I jumped into the speech system, and because I worked on my speech, I got to become the speaker that I would never have become otherwise. So, stuttering and stammering, not only for me, if you are also facing it, it is a gift for you. It is a gift that you have to unpack, utilize it in the right way, work on your speech, and transform your speech and transform your life and make yourself someone that you would never have been had you not struggled with speaking. So instead of blaming yourself, blaming life, blaming God, blaming nature, why it happened with you, let me tell you right now. It is the best thing that has happened with you. And it is going to transform your life, but only if you're willing to invest your time, work on your speech, and take your speech and your life towards the next level. So, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you got to learn something out of it. I hope that my journey inspired you, and if you're looking for one on one help, I can help you with that and you can go ahead and book an assessment session with me so that I can speak to you, assess your speech, and let you know what the best option would be for you moving forward. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.